Sunshine, wild ones, it's Bernadette, and I'm here with your Pick a Card Tarot reading for Monday, April 12th, 2021. Certainly, I'm just going to start off with a couple of housekeeping things. Please, if you haven't ordered your book yet, my new book that's coming out, 700 pages. It's the most complete book having to do with spirit, totem, and power animals, literally of all time. Full color inside, outside, 300 animals, tons and tons of never before seen information about how to work with your spirit, totem, and power animals, your animal spirit guides. And it's pretty amazing. And we've got to get to that $35,000 mark so that it can unlock me being able to print the first book, the first additional stretch goal book, which is Domestic Cats. And where you get 35 extra animals, and then help us get to the 45,000 mark where it unlocks the book about the dogs. So there you have it. The link to my Kickstarter is below. Thank you so much for all of you who have helped and who have pre-ordered the book. This book will keep you in very good stead for umpteen years, and you can pass it on to other people who love spirit, totem, and power animals. All right, so those of you who know me, know that no matter how serious a message is, the animal allies give me some kind of humor to deliver it with, right? A spoonful of sugar, a spoonful of laughter helps the medicine go down. Today is not that day. Today is not a negative day at all. Today is an extremely powerful day. So if you are not up for hearing a message that should empower you, maybe like nothing else ever has, you don't want to watch the rest of this video. If you are up for hearing something today that could very well help you sit in the seat of your own power, like maybe you never even dreamed a person could, or definitely didn't dream that you could, keep listening, because Dragon has shown up for you today. This very moment is all about the dragon energy. Now, here's where this gets crazy powerful. I think it's fair to say that most people would associate dragon as a spirit, totem, and power animal with power, wealth. For those that know the etymology of the word, the Anglo-Saxon for that is seer. Dragons are very connected to psychic energy, to ancient wisdom, like the time before time. They're secret keepers. They're all kinds of things. And, listen, we could be here till next year this time, just telling each other stories that we've heard about dragons, legends, myths, all of that kind of thing. But I find when folks are, reading up on dragon as a spirit, totem, and power animal, as an animal spirit guide, they get very attracted to the fire, the strength, the power. And there will be those people that will understand, that will get that through the myths and the histories, that dragons are also very associated with wealth, especially if you study Chinese astrology, Chinese zodiac, anything like that. The year of the dragon, all of that. In the Asian cultures, dragon is wealth and power. However, what people tend to miss is that dragons are the guardian of wealth and power. Dragons are the guardians of wealth and power. Now, when I sit with an energy before a reading, that is the kind of message that Dragon wants to get across to y'all today, it's no joke. It takes a tremendous amount of just my internal battery better be on full before I start channeling the medicine and the messages from a dragon, the energy from a dragon. They can be very playful, and we can laugh and have a really good time. And they're tricksters and they're jokesters. And then there are times where they want to breathe fire and just, lay waste across the land. This was not that kind of morning, but when you sit with an energy like this and it's serious and you want to sit up and yes, absolutely, totally, yes, got that, check, I'm on the job. It's almost very, military. It's almost very, almost like you're in the presence of a divine being, because in my estimation, we're all divine beings, but dragons have a little easier way of showing it, I think. It's more natural for them to say, why, yes, I am divine. The message today really, it made a lot of sense to me. Over the last few weeks, the people that I've read have forgotten two very crucial things for anyone's life, and that is this. When you talk about being the guardian of wealth and power, okay, it's got to start here with you. Are you guarding your wealth? Do you know what kind of wealth I'm talking about? Do you know what kind of wealth Dragon is talking about? Do you guard your power, or do you give it away daily? So we'll get to the power thing in a minute, but let's get to the wealth thing. There isn't any other way to say this, and Dragon was very clear. Dragon was like, Bernadette, this daily reading can be over in 3.5 minutes. You just tell them, and they either get it or they don't, and they want to hear it or they don't want to hear it. They either have the eyes to see and the ears that will listen, or they don't. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty blunt, in-your-face message. But remember, this is Root Chakra Day. You can stay grounded, and if you'll get this in your root, holy guacamole, I can't even imagine what you're going to be like by the end of the week. I mean, the foundation that's going to strengthen in you. Y'all, I'm scared of you, for real. So, here's the message. You are priceless. Every smack bit of you is priceless. I don't care if you're listening to this while you're in jail. I don't care if you're listening to this while you are stealing from somebody. You got your earbuds in and you're busting into somebody's security system or whatever. Now, I would care if you were listening to this if you were bringing harm to someone, physical harm, emotional harm, that kind. I would care, and I would hope you will hear this, because you, maybe above all people, need to know you're priceless. And if you are a person who is struggling or has struggled with self-love, self-respect, confidence, the words are endless. This is for you right now, in this moment that stops today, because Dragon Energy and Medicine wants to work with you to let you know you are priceless. Okay, but more importantly, you must guard that. You must guard that at all costs. I will tell you why. I have a lot of parents that come see me, because I have a lot of women that come see me. They get readings. And it hasn't happened very often, but a couple maybe dozen times in the 60-something thousand readings that I've given, I've had to say something to a gal because it's come through like a message it's come through as a message. What am I going to do? In the most gentle way that Spirit was willing to say it that day, where, and the words were always different, but if you're not guarding, if you don't get that you're priceless and you don't guard that, how are you helping your children? And boy, that really gets to people. Moms take great issue with that. I totally get that. Yes, I do. And I can't begin to tell you how many women I've had say, well, I can't do it for myself, but I'll do it for my child. Okay, maybe. I not understand. Again, I'm trying not to say that word. I get that. But when the people around us see that we don't value ourselves, that can cause all kinds of mayhem in ways that you can't possibly know, fathom, or see until the result of that develops. But most importantly, what has your fear cost you? What have your insecurities cost you? What has your lack of self-value cost you? I could give you a laundry list of what it's cost me. I can give you a list of what it cost me last week, for crying out loud. And so this is a crazy message, I think, because the last week and a half, Spirit was like, hey, listen, we're going to talk about abundance for a while. And I want to say this again. It has nothing to do with the Kickstarter this has nothing to do with my Kickstarter. I'm not trying to like, you know, subconsciously get everybody to, you know, to invest in the Kickstarter or subconsciously send abundance vibes out there for the Kickstarter. My God, listen, this is one Kickstarter. Now, it is the book of all books when it comes to animal spirit guides. I will say that. I absolutely guard the value of that book and the wealth of that book and its pricelessness. And quite frankly, I'm guarding my pricelessness for making it. Because y'all don't know. I don't know that there's a lot else that will test your mettle than putting together a 700-page book. Okay, here's where I'm going with that. The reason that I guard that is because every single person that gets a hold of that book and every single person that reads about their animal helpers, their animal spirit guides, and then this happens and this happens, it's the butterfly effect, right? If you blow air this way all around the world, some poor butterfly is gonna, you know, wah! So where I'm going with this is, well, it's not me, it's Dragon. You can't quantify your value. You can't quantify your own wealth, what you're worth. You can't quantify that because it is endless. It is limitless. Nobody has numbers that high because it's infinite. There's no such thing as numbers that high, right? Okay. Now we're going to move on to protecting your power. And that can mean a lot of different things for a lot of different people. But I watch people give their power away every single day. Every single day. One of my favorite things when I was in the entertainment business and I used to interview prospective actors and actresses is I would say, tell me 3 things that you are proud of. Their hair, their eyes, their feet. Somebody one time was really proud of their feet. I hate feet. I didn't sign that person. They had other issues, but I certainly didn't sign them. Maybe because of the feet. But it was always something physical. And I would be like, okay, tell me something about you that you're proud of. They would get uncomfortable. They would look down. Well, you know, I mean, I guess I'm a nice person. You know, I like to laugh. I like this. I didn't ask you to tell me what you like. I asked you to tell me what you're proud of. Less than 2% of people, and I interviewed thousands of actors and actors through my career. Oh yes, I did. 2% or less could say, I'm a good actor, or I'm really proud of the fact that I'm also a volunteer firefighter, or I am confident, or I am always available to help people. I mean, you know, less than 2%. It was such an amazing lesson over and over and over and over and over again. So if you're, you know, if you're willing to take this reading seriously today, then you'll have no choice but to reevaluate your own value and start guarding your wealth. And hopefully when you reevaluate your value, you don't have a number, you don't have a quantity, because it's endless, it's limitless, and it's priceless. And when you go to evaluate your power, it's also endless, limitless, and priceless. It's the same diff, one to the other. It's just a different word, but it all means the same thing. But if you don't guard that, people will take it from you. You'll give it away, for gosh sakes. Don't do that. That's not helpful. And only you can determine what giving your power away means. To some people, it means never speaking up for themselves. To some people, it means, you know, speaking up too much. Because that's when we allow people in situations to spin us, to just, you know, we go bonkers because of the actions of somebody else, you've given them power. Why do you think your parents used to say they won't pick on you if you don't react? They're just trying to see your reaction. Man, my mom used to say that to me and I wanted to clonk her in the head. Oh, my mom, also a Scorpio. We used to go at it like you can't imagine. But I never understood that till I got older. Because when I reacted, triple water sign, my God. So having said that, let me also say this. when we give our power away and we don't realize it, it's probably because we haven't been willing to cut to the chase. And what I mean by that is this. There are people that really take issue with me because I come at so much from a business perspective. When friends call me and they ask me advice about business, and they often do, I'll say, how are you gonna make money at that? Well, B, it's not all about the money. How are you gonna make money at that? Well, but okay, do you have that kind of money in the bank? Do you have that kind of money backing you up that you don't need to make money doing this? Well, no, but it's not all about. When people ask me anything, I tell them I do well in business. It's not that I'm proud of it, but I am guarding my power. What possible good does it do to say, I do okay? Okay, that's cagey. That's fine. And, that might be your authentic self for your whatever reasons. But I in particular know that it doesn't take any power away from me to be a candle that's lit, that lights somebody else's wick for them. That doesn't diminish my power. And I'm in the woo-woo business. Do you know how many people are convinced, number one, if you're in a spiritually related business or a metaphysical business, it's some kind of, affront to the universe or God or whatever, the source, all that is, to care about money. You should be a humble servant. I'm humble. I'm from the South. I'm super humble in an organic way. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to call a spade for a million reasons. And when you're not being specific with yourself, when you're not cutting to the chase with yourself, so for instance, I'm very clear. You're darn tootin' I want to make as much money as humanly possible. And every day in every way, I look for a way to make more money. You know why I do that? Because there are animals out there being abused. And Bernadette is not a person. I cannot work with them personally. I can't do it. Bad things would happen to me psychologically that I would never recover from, ever. That's doing no good to them, for them. It's doing no good. But I can make money, and I can siphon off as much of that as I can possibly afford. And in that way, I work in tandem with the people who are stronger people than I am, because they can get down in the trenches. I get down in the trenches in a different way. We have to have each other. It's a symbiotic relationship, right? So yeah, you betcha. And when people, there's a bunch of y'all coming to this is going to be so fun, by the way. There's a bunch of y'all coming to the free Kickstarter class that I'm giving, because it's irking me that people that are talking about Kickstarter out there. Now, having said that, let me just say this. Heidi Berthume, who I hope is going to be able to be with me, she's got a book on Amazon about how to get started with Kickstarter. It's one of the best books I've ever seen. Heidi Berthume. I'll put the link to her. I'll put her Amazon link below. And she was the one that helped me on my first Kickstarter page. She's the one that helped me on this most recent Kickstarter page. 50,000 is what we raised on the first for the ARC, and I think we're at 28,000 or 27,000, or I don't know, somewhere near that abouts. I didn't look this morning before I got on the video, but yeah. And so I'm real clear about that. Are you clear about why you do what you do? Are you clear about what you want, what you don't want? Because specific communication yields specific results, and you can only get that if you're willing to protect your power. Meaning, you've got the courage to say out loud, to be, again, those things. What do you like? What don't you like? What are you going to tolerate? What are you not going to tolerate? That's protecting your power, which will in turn protect your wealth, what you're worth, which is priceless. And they work again in tandem. When you know you're priceless, you're not going to give away your power. When you're protecting your power, it definitely helps you to believe that you're priceless. So today's been a pretty heavy duty message for a Monday, but I hope you feel that right in the deepest part of your root chakra. And I hope that anchors you in place, and that's all you think about this week, is protecting your power and protecting your wealth, because you are priceless. The animal allies and I know it. Come on now, get with the program. You got to know it too. We're, the animal allies are infinite in their wisdom. Y'all know I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And so if I get it, there's no excuse for you not to get it. So I hope that was helpful. Thus ends the benediction for a Monday. But serious, it really wasn't me, y'all. It was Dragon. Here's to hoping tomorrow on a Tuesday is a little more lighthearted. But sometimes we have to hear these things the way we have to hear them. So you ready for here we go. The fastest plug known to man. Please make sure to support my Kickstarter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, sign up for the daily readings, buy your copy of the Arcanimal Tarot and Oracle deck. Get on over to Gathering of Mystics and join us over there. And as always, what are the most important things? To do good for animals and to stay wild.